Thank you kindly.
Yeah, I should probably not move as much. Just
I want to get a mat for this so that it stops the vibration and any echo sounds.
I got a desk like this too before downstairs.
Yeah.
They were running to say I want a standing desk that was like it's almost like a release that lets it up.
Oh, okay. So it's pressurized or pneumatic, I mean? Nice.
Sets it up.
Yeah.
Here's your link.
we're live on YouTube.
We are live on YouTube.
I'm send you the link too.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no more of this whole I'll just read. No, fuck that shit. Here's the link. Post it. Be a team player. You're welcome.
I'm just gonna post something's happening. You could follow this link.
Something's happening.
They're making me send this. Help.
I'm a hostage in my own house.
There's Traegers everywhere. What the hell is a pellet?
God, the new 285 construction just makes me, or the constant 285 construction.
Do we need to hold for 10 seconds so we can get tone? Or you want to catch it at the end?
Did you text me or did you Instagram message me?
Texting it to you.
Okay.
Boom. Sent. This, copy that, put this here. There's a lot of taps for updating these things. Okay, so now that's added. Goodness gracious. Boom. Why is unknown calling me? I don't know. I don't answer unknown numbers. Safety first. We're sounding clear out there? Alright, okay. Find a good shot of Bryan and I to use.
I left an Easter egg in my title.
Oh Lord. I think this is a Marvel movie?
No. You'll probably get it actually.
Oh, right on then. Tap to watch live stream. Okay. So, think.
I added the link.
You added the link. See? Was that so difficult? Don't you feel better being a team player?
Sure.
One of these days, you're gonna admit just how much you enjoy this.
No, I do enjoy it. It's just, I felt bad. Okay. I went to the Bye to Korea, like friends and family thing on Tuesday.
Yeah, I hear they're the ones getting the space over at the Tucker location.
Yeah. So they're opening today in Tucker.
At the new location? At the
Yeah. Their places get ready to go. So like,
Good deal.
yeah.
congrats to
But there
them.
was a guy taking photos, and I was like, don't take my photo. It's like I already have to do this like once a week. Don't like. There's only one thing where they can grab my photo. Like, but don't take my photo.
Oh my god. So they got the brewery space.
No. Vita Korea has a restaurant space.
Oh, their restaurants. Oh, I
Yeah.
thought they got the pontoon brewers, the space over there.
It's close to there.
Yeah.
But like like it's not far from it because the Antico is in the same shopping center.
And yes,
Yeah.
this episode is not brought to you by anyone because we really talk a lot of crap about a lot of people. So
Sorry, we should not. If we want sponsors, we got to calm that shit down, right?
I suppose.
Who needs sponsors?
I know, right? I can just keep slinging butts and keep the lights on. Then I can say whatever I want. There you go, my good man.
Okay.
Little reach. A little clinky clank.
Clink.
Salute, my friend. All right, I guess we should probably, though I am hesitant, I guess we should.
I mean, we're on live on YouTube, so I don't want to say anything else.
Yeah, well, I mean, we could say whatever we want to say. You're just always afraid of repercussions.
No, I'll tell you afterwards.
All right.
This is one of those things where like this is one of the things you do too. You're like, yeah, I'll tell you afterwards.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Then if it's that, then yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
Yeah, I don't want this out in the ether.
Don't want to have to hear this play back at any point in time.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Let's catch up. That sounds like a fair time. Boom.
That's a good title.
It is.
Don't
That's
want
it.
this out in the ether.
Don't want this sound either. Okay. Well, let me shift this a little. Hopefully, we won't mess anything up.
Okay, we're not on Instagram Live yet, right?
No, we are now.
We are now. Okay.
I'm just shifting it so that my main cam. So I put it
You can look in the same direction. Yeah.
Am I blocking? All right. Hey, Gladiator Barbecue. First off, before I even do the first off of the first off of the first off of the show, I'm going to give that young man a wonderful shout out, brother. I'm so proud of you. Caught some little glimpses and shots of you over at the American Royal. Love the hard work and drive. You know, I feel very comfortable knowing that future barbecues in overly qualified and capable hands like yourself. So, see if we can do a little push in here. There it is. Sorry, it's more of me, but frames looks better. Here we are. Anytime, you're very welcome, young man. We'll catch up soon. That promise you that.
Without this though, probably, right?
Yeah, he's not.
He's
yeah,
not,
He's 16,
okay.
so
Okay,
we're
yeah.
not. I don't support underage
Yeah.
drinking.
Well, 5 years so you can clink glasses.
Yes, in 5 years we'll definitely clink up. I'll get you your first bottle of bourbon. That's on me. You got some good ideas, bad ideas, bud?
How soon
That's a yes.
out from a barbecue fest would you announce the lineup, or how close would you be willing to cut it?
Not close at all. Like I'm not announcing an event unless I have a lineup. You know, unless
yeah.
I've got
So under 2
Casual.
months, not a,
No,
okay,
at 2.
all right.
No, what? No.
Okay, all right, yeah, that's my good or bad idea.
Oh gosh, that's
You want some mystery in your lineup, man.
Yeah, I would say what I would go ahead and say is we have guests from all regions, and I would at least give 2 to 3 names as little teasers.
Yeah.
But I would have like a confirmation, like a full list ready to go. Like if you're doing it for marketing, cool. I dig that. Go ahead and drop. Come back every Tuesday. We're naming someone new. We're going to announce someone new, or every day for a week we announce someone new. I don't. Who's doing this? Who's out there pushing stuff without?
We're not talking about that.
We're not
We're not talking about that.
like on air, just like in general.
Just in general.
I feel like I want to press matters just a little. Like, can we get a hint?
No, we're good. We're good.
What region are you afraid of pissing off that you won't even give me a hint?
I'm gonna be like, God, who's the actor? Who's the actor that played Gordon and The Dark Knight? I can't think of his name right now.
Which one?
What? Gary Oldman. I'm gonna be like Gary Oldman from Leon.
Oh,
Yeah, everyone.
All right.
Yeah,
I dig
that's who I'd piss off. Everyone.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. I've pissed off everyone before. It's not as bad as you think, my friend.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as you think. All right. Well, since you've done that, I might as well get into my spiel. Yeah.
That sounds good.
All right. Good deal. Deep breath. Hold.
Why do I have to give you permission?
Well, co-host. It's a back give and take, a back and forth.
right.
It's a symbiotic relationship, man.
It's a venom.
Yeah, except not the movies because that was atrocious, especially the second one. But we're not going to worry about that. Let me get into it. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of This Week in Barbecue. This Week in Barbecue is a barbecue-focused podcast that introduces you and shares the news of the good, the bad, and everything in between in the world of barbecue. I am your host, Rashid Phillips, and joining me, as always, with a full and luxurious beard, my co-host,
Brian Hull.
That sounded a little bit better this time.
I'm trying. I'm
You're
trying.
getting there.
It's just a
You're getting
weird thing.
It is.
Like, yeah.
At least there's more bodies in the room. You don't feel like you're
This
just
is true.
talking to me now. We got the stuff in here. You guys can't see it, but
We still need to get like a camera on Lee so he could chime in with his producer.
We should.
Yeah.
We should. We just have the producer. Like, who did Howard Stern have running the boards? It was Howard and Robin, and then he had somebody else they would always come to. That's what we got to
Yeah,
get.
you gotta.
Picking up space legitimately.
I'm just glad you didn't say anything about
We've got all types of news. You guys have sent in an obscene amount of questions, which we very much enjoy and thank you for. And if you were watching on the old Instagram news, you can tap the stories and watch us on YouTube. Think we've dialed in the audio, dialed in the video. We appreciate the feedback. We're working on it. It's a learning process, but we do this because we enjoy it, and it allows us to day drink.
Oh, and shout out to.
Oh, yes. See, this
Point
is
at it. You can read the spiel, but shout out.
I don't even have a spiel because we don't do scripts here. But one time for the one time, my cat's over at M&M Barbecue. And I guess we should say official name because I don't want someone out there Googling and then they get like smoked peanut M&Ms in the mail. But M&M BBQ Co. Great guys. I really appreciate it. They sent some merch. They sent some swag. And at some point before this episode is over, we're going to figure out a way to give you one of these hats. Well, not really, because I'm keeping this one. So to give you this hat.
And I had to sport it.
You did have to sport it.
They sent the swag.
I
gotta
would, but
sport
my
it.
hair's still tight, and I've got like 3 more photo shoots in the next 10 days, so I got to.
Yeah,
they don't
I
have
had-
a silk lining, so I can't
I
put it
had
on.
to cancel on my barber a couple weeks ago. It's one of those things, and I still got charged because I canceled too late.
You canceled too late? No,
Yeah.
I can't. No, my stuff costs way too much for me to cancel. But since we are giving away one of their hats, I think it's only right. What I'll go ahead and do is I'll match it, and I've actually we just launched, I believe. Yep, it's up. We just launched our new PBC 3D puff print hats. 3 colorways, shameless plug, because like I said, no sponsor, so I rub butts to keep the lights on. We've got our ash and coal, got our all coal, all black PBC cap, and my favorite, the red and black. These just dropped. They are available on the site, and before this episode is over, I will figure out a way to do a giveaway with these as well, so stay tuned. Now, all that stuff's out the way.
Hey,
Hit me with hard
we
20.
started with like bad news last time.
Oh, gosh.
So let's start with good news.
All right,
How
drop
about some
good news.
openings?
Okay, I'm always down some openings.
So Lewis Barbecue,
Right
originally out of Charleston, they opened their second location in Greenville, South Carolina,
yeah,
a couple weeks ago. So,
okay. Shout out, good job,
And
good job.
their brisket price was kind of insane.
What's
They're still only charging like $27 a pound for brisket. So
Okay.
go get some brisket while it's still relatively affordable.
we can go over there and flip flip their brisket sales. That's very, very, very affordable. So thank you. What other good news, since I have to always be the negative one?
Oh, I mean, well, my next one was half good news, half kind of back to what we were talking about last week.
Okay, we're going back on just the tip.
Well, no, okay, well, yeah. So Terry Black's finally opened in Lockhart.
The blacks are coming. Take that however you wish.
So Daniel Vaughn wrote a good article about kind of the contentious history behind kind of Lockhart barbecue in general, and going over a little bit of the how the split between Blacks and Terry Blacks happened and stuff. But yeah, Terry Blacks are finally open in Lockhart. It's kind of like a homecoming for them, in all honesty.
For those who aren't as privy and in the know, who is Daniel Vaughn?
So he is the,
I think his handle's
like,
Barbecue Snob.
yeah, but lead editor or head editor, like
Editor-in-chief,
of the barbecue section of Texas Monthly.
Yes, yes.
So
it is. He's a made man in the Texas Mafia. So put it that way.
if he's in the Texas Mafia, what's Texas Gabagool? Is it just brisket?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's fairly it. I've got you spoke on opening, so I'll speak on some events. I'll speak on a couple things that are happening that are lighthearted and not so sad as you make it seem I am. We've got a few things going on too that actually involve our good buddy, Chef David Rose. One time for David. He's actually going to be partaking in Chef's Classic, a fusion culinary of secrets. That's really, really cool. And it's going to be taking part in Barbados. They're having a food and rum festival. You know, as Islanders, us is food and rum. Stateside is food and wine. But as Islanders, it's definitely food and rum. And that is taking place.
I think I'm more open to the food and rum.
Yeah.
You're
missing out. That is taking place October 27th to the 30th, and that's really, really cool. The tickets are fairly, I don't know what the conversion is, but it's 150 BDS, so Google it. But it's a fairly all-day-ish type festival. They've got numerous chefs there. Chef David Rose, of course, is going to be one of the featured chefs. They've also got Eric Adupong. You've seen him on, I believe it's Top Chef that he's been on. They have Anne Burrell and Huda Moonman. I'm not sure who that is, but I'm going to do a little bit of digging, get that info. But all of this will be in the show notes, so check that out. And this weekend, as Corey reminded me, is actually the weekend for the Eggin Fest, their 25th annual Big Green Egg Festival. I hear Miss Tina Cannon's supposed to be out there. Chef David Rose is hosting. He's going to be there, and that is at Coolray Field. It's from 10 a.m. to 3:30 this Saturday. If you are in Atlanta, yeah. Or the once Gwinnett Braves, but they couldn't afford the payout on that anymore, so they had to give it away.
That's the weirdest thing, that
it is.
You're the AAA team but can't afford to have the name Braves.
It's what got me is, like, can you imagine the overhaul on merch they had to do, because it legitimately happened overnight. I remember the game was Friday, and then the next day sign was down, new sign was up, and all new merch. It's like, woo, that hurt somebody somewhere. All right, so hit me with some news, bud. What do we got?
All right, so actually got a kind of a unique festival out in Dallas. The Q Barbecue Festival, November 4th to 6th. And when I say unique, is like a lot of times these festivals have like a really high general admission cost.
Yeah.
But it's more all inclusive. So the general admission for this is only $15. Yeah, like, so you go in, you'll buy the food, like, because it's not included. Okay. But you know, and then they're gonna have like, it's hosted by Matt Pittman of Meat Church, and they're gonna have like live cooking demonstrations and kind of like Q&A's kind of stuff. And then like a bunch of really good barbecue joints out there. Pig Beach from New York, Black's Barbecue, The Shed Barbecue from Mississippi, Hurtado from Dallas,
shout out to
2M
Hurtado
from San Antonio, Loro Smokehouse is also going to be there. So there's a good lineup, and it's a 3-day festival. But they also have like a pit pass where you have like a 2.5, 3 hour window, and it's all you can eat barbecue.
That's a smart
so you can spend a little more and do that, but it's one of the, like, I thought it was interesting because a lot of times we're talking about these festivals, and like the cost of entry, even for the general admission, is pretty high.
Yeah, it's like baseline $100.
Yeah, so this is something where you could probably actually afford to take a family. Like, and it's a 3-day thing, and I think it's at AT&T Stadium.
It is, and I like that a la carte style. Like, hey, you're in, go get what you want to get. We're not going to push anything on you. I know Pittman was doing a live with the guy in charge of it, and I believe they may have reached out to us about partaking in one of those. I know I'd shot them something to a different rep about doing if they're going to do something in Georgia, let's make some noise with it. But also, I'm not very much of a waiter. So it's like, why wait to have someone come here to do something in your home state versus just doing it yourself? Georgia doesn't get a lot of love in the smoke game, man. We're constantly left off a list.
We have the Firebox, the Southern Soul Firebox series, but that got postponed because of the storm last weekend.
Yeah.
So they do Q does multiple cities. So this is the first time in Dallas.
They do Dallas. So, I know they've got Denver on the list, I believe.
Kansas City, I believe. Yeah. And then so Jacksonville's still to come.
Yeah.
Too this year. And that's November 19th and 20th.
Mm-hmm. And we have people.
They don't have a lineup for that one.
We have people who just who mentioned they're talking about the pricing on some of the stuff. Like, Spirit, usually some of these things start at $100 per person. Hey, shout out to London. Definitely appreciated. It's crazy. Bootsy, I saw you in here, my man. I know you're still doing your everyday smoke. Right on. Michelle, thanks for being in here. Annie and everybody. Barbecue Ben, thank you guys. Thank you. Hit the link in the stories. Shoot over to the old YouTubes and drop those comments in. We got it monitored and set. But festivals like this, it'll be really interesting. And people are asking on Matt's Live, will he be cooking? And he's not. He's just going to be hosting.
Right.
He's just going to be out there hosting. But people are always wondering, how do you get to know what smoker you want, or how do you learn more about barbecue, or how do you go to festivals like these that are dirt cheap, $15 a ticket? Imagine this. You just paid $15 to potentially have a conversation with some of the best pitmasters around. Yeah. If you can, get back there and pull their air for 2 to 3 minutes, I'll pay $15 for that. For 2 to 3 minute conversation just to confirm, hey, what do you like about your rig? And go in there with direct questions. What do you like about your smoker? What would you change about it? Get that info, boom, next guy. And then you left, you're like, man, I paid $15, I have some great barbecue, and I have a wealth of knowledge, and I'm better off for it because I'm trying to pursue this. So yeah, look at it that way instead of like what the cost of everything would be.
Yeah.
I do have to say rather quickly, a giant shout out to Bare Bones. Just thank you. We received a wonderful care package from them, and I cannot wait to show you all the dope stuff. Got some beautiful knives, beautiful pots, pans, all types of dope stuff. Ready for fall. I'm harvesting, gathering, foraging, and everything's getting cooked over open fire.
It is that season, man.
Yes, it is. It's open fire and bourbon season, even though
it's that season where coats in the morning, shorts in the afternoon.
Yep. Then coats again at night.
Coats in the evening, and then maybe a wind chill advisory.
That's about right. But I'm all for it. I'm all for it. So I guess is it on me for news, or you want to try to field a question?
Whatever you feel like, but I feel like we should get some questions.
Okay, let's swing it over. While I get the questions out, I do want to say thank you to Stan Hayes, who is the founder of Operation Barbecue Relief. He and the amazing guys of Operation Barbecue Relief literally jumped into action when Ian hit packed up. He reached out, but I was away filming, and I'm still traveling, so my schedule, I'm not able to get over there. But Sam and his crew are feeding thousands and thousands, and they're doing these things called bulk meals, where you're not going to get a plate of pulled pork. You're going to get a half tray or a full hotel pan of pulled pork, greens, sides, all of that, and it's for you to take and distribute amongst those who need. So definitely, guys, if you're looking to help, got a couple extra bucks, head over to Operation Barbecue Relief. Check out their Instagram page. All the info is there. We'll drop it in the show notes. But they're making a huge difference, and I just love seeing people utilizing their passion and skill set of barbecue to make a positive impact like this. So shout out to you, Stan, brother. Billy, this being recorded on YouTube, yes, we will save it on the old YouTube, so you can come back and see these rough exteriors later at your leisure.
Do we have an announcement for the YouTube?
Do we have an announcement for the YouTube?
We'll
see.
Maybe I misread that.
No, you didn't. We got to leave a little bit.
Okay, all right.
Suspense.
Okay, well, that's at the end of the show. Stick around for the end of the show.
Yeah, I can't give them the whole thing up front. Just the tip.
Just the tip.
All right, so let's start with these questions. This is one we've sort of spoken on in various points. It's been phrased differently, but El Brew asked, reverse flow versus traditional. What are you running?
I run a traditional offset. Yeah. Straight flow. Yeah. Is that actually the term, straight flow offset?
Straight flow or reverse. Hey, who did that? Vane, thank you so much for the badge. I didn't know you could do that. Cool. But you're running. That's really appreciative, man. That helps keeps the glasses full. Straight flow. You run straight flow. I dip my toe in both. Pearl is a straight flow. Penny and Phoebe are reverses. I've got a couple of the straights, but my biggest rigs are straight flows, and I like it. But my straight flow has a rack.
Yeah, I mean, like
I've got
I
a
have
double rack on mine.
so I have an upper rack that I just don't use.
Yeah, you always take your grates out.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're just out at all times. Yeah. Like they're just sitting somewhere.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
May I ask why?
So, and this is actually pretty low for a straight flow on terms of the top temp. So at the front of the pit, it's about a 75 difference between the exhaust level grate and the top grate, and at the back, it's about a 25 degree difference. Okay. And right now, the volume I'm cooking, I have those in case I need to up the volume I'm cooking, but since I don't want to cook like briskets hotter up there, I also don't want fat dripping on the brisket that I'm cooking on, like the straight grate.
And I do an alternating stagger when I do that. So if I do 3 on the bottom,
yeah,
I only put 2 on the top in the gaps of the 3 down below it, so that I don't have that happening. And it just depends on where I am in the cook. And I know that's going to be hard for some people to visualize who are listening to the podcast, which is why you should go to YouTube and watch this video, because it'd be a great little graphic there. Van said, listening to this while prepping my beef and tomorrow pastrami brine. Hey, right on, man. Let me know how that pastrami goes. Tag me in the end result. Let that thing ride out as long as you can. It's worth it. It's definitely a lesson in patience. But jumping back to the rigs, I like both. I do like the flexibility you get with the reverse. This is definitely a little bit more forgiving, but it's nowhere near as easy as like your turn the dial knob models and rigs. Like you still have to know what you're doing to make it do what it do. So my question, with our knowledge of it, have you ever thought of purposely evening out your heat temps? I know I purposely keep certain hot spots alive in my rigs versus doing the modifications I know that I could do to get that same temp throughout end to end.
No, I would just cook different proteins up there. That's the way I would look at it. If I added back that top rack, especially on like my back door, since I have a 500, it'd be 2 different doors. I probably wouldn't use the front door cook, or I would probably wouldn't cook anything further than 2/3 in. But I'd probably only do like beef ribs or chickens up there, something that could like actually benefit from the higher heat.
That's right. I forgot your rig does have the 2 doors, because my 5 has a single.
Yeah, no, yeah, my rig has the 2 doors. So like I could cook a couple beef rack ribs up front and then cook probably another like 9 to 12 in the back.
I dig it. Let's pull up another one, shall we?
Yeah.
Oh, this one came from Brad W. Do you smoke briskets to color and feel before wrapping, or to temp then wrapping?
Both.
Both?
Right. I mean, there's this stigma that you should only do everything by feel, or like temp's a bad thing. Look, the people who know how to read a brisket by feel, they've cooked a shit ton of brisket.
I've cooked a lot of
briskets. Like that's the thing, is like a lot of people are never going to cook enough briskets in their lifetime to get it to where they can just do it by feel.
Yeah.
So using the temp as a gauge to figure out where you are in the brisket, and also like observing and taking notes about how the brisket looks and feels at certain temps, that's going to make you a better cook.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah. But like the good thing is, like the thing is, like you could think you're past the stall. You could be reading like 170 and it just hasn't stalled yet.
Yeah.
And then it drops back down to 150. So you might like think you're past the stall and then you wrap too early.
And you're stuck.
Yeah. I mean, really what you need to look at is if you're like in the 160 to 170 range and the brisket looks about the same size as when you put it on, then you haven't started really stalling.
I go by feel now, just because I've cooked a lot of briskets. Can't say I've seen them. I've cooked a lot. And I mean, I was drilling these things out, just practice, practice, practice. And then when our volumes skyrocketed, because I knew I was going through them, because I would go from like one brisket a pop up, like to two briskets a pop up, to where I'm going through cases a pop up, and then then you just realize how to trim, and you look, and there is that certain feel. And but before I got to that point, yes, it was definitely, let me at least just make sure that I'm past the safety barrier, because once you're past the safety barrier, then you can let it go. And a lot of it is still by feel, because some people say go by probe feel.
Yeah.
And that's part of it too, because you'll feel that tightness if it's giving or not. My buddy Daniel, I was walking him through a brisket cook he was doing the other week, and he felt that it hit the saw. He wanted to do all these things, like, hey, let's just make a few minor changes. Let's not crank the temp. Let's tent it. Let's rearrange it on there. And I think someone asked that too. So I'll look for that question next. But once I told him, like, you'll start to get a feel for it. Like, it'll just move away, and you're like, yeah, this is ready. It's not over. It's not under. And you push it right there.
Yeah, I mean, so like even at the end of the cook, like I'll temp and see if it's in a certain range that I expect it to be done. And then I feel the point and also feel the flat to see where those are. And that's when I judge when to pull off, because sometimes they'll be reading 203 and the point's not done.
Yeah. So, and that's it. It's a great like measuring stick, but that's not definitive. 202 does not mean every single brisket that hits a 202 is ready to go.
It's just not how it works.
Not how it goes. Like, there's a myriad of these.
Yeah, but like people shouldn't be scared of running, like using temp rubs.
No, they shouldn't. Just find the right one.
It's a tool in your arsenal.
Yes.
It shouldn't be the end all thing where you judge everything by, but it also shouldn't be something that you're shamed for using.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Like, do you want? I feel this is a good time to talk about that 3-2-1 rib question that I saw on your Instagram.
Yeah, there's this one sort of spiderwebs into so many, because someone had asked. Let me see if I can find that exact question. What is it? No, that was for baby backs, because someone asked about the 3-2-1 on babies, because he's is finishing. But it was funny enough. It was also Brad that asked any better way to smoke ribs other than the 3-2-1, and I think my response was like, yeah, there's countless ways.
Yeah,
3-2-1 is a base level starter. You've never done it, you don't know what to do.
I don't wrap until the ribs are done.
Yeah,
like that,
done how? Because I run. Depending on the type of ribs that I'm making, I do baby backs completely different than I do spares and saints.
So I mostly cook full spares, and sometimes St. Louis if someone asks for them. Like I try and pull the ribs. Like I don't have a problem with temping ribs either. Temp ribs, like I try and pull them when they're in like the 190 to 200 range. Like, because sometimes you'll think that they're showing a little bit of bend, and they're not there yet. They'll start bending in that 170 range. And like, you're going to get a lot more bite in the 170. If you want more bite on your ribs, pull them in the 180 to 185 range. If you want them a little more tender, but like not fall off the bone, the 190 to 195 range is like where you want to pull them.
I can't even, I'm not even going to lie. I don't temp ribs.
Yeah.
That was all by feel, but also cooked by color when not doing the 3-2-1, because like I said, it's just a baseline starter method. You know, it's sort of like steaks where they say 2 minutes one side, 2 minutes the next side, base, rest, slide. That's all it is. It's a starter. For ribs, I go by color, especially if I'm trying to get like a nice cherry color on it or a nice mahogany color. Once I get that in there, I'll do my little tricks and moves to hang on to that color and allow it to finish cooking without fully wrapping it. But I think I did ribs for the first time in forever the other day. I just tossed on some slabs just to practice around with them. And that was strictly going by color, not temp and feel, just strictly color. I needed that. I nailed it. Then I just let it ride and did a little almost like a boat wrap with a cheesecloth to keep the color and let the heat go. Little mop sauce and slice and enjoy it, man.
Flip them upside down and slap them right.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So you have 2 hours, then you flip your ribs.
And people do flip their ribs, and people really take it serious. Like, yeah, we're just going back and forth. We're just, giving each other shit for it. But I definitely know. I know Rodney flips his ribs. So many people are telling me, you know, Rodney. Yes, I do know.
I mean, it also depends on what kind of cooker you're doing. Like, if you're
True.
cooking on a green egg, like you're either probably using, like, I know a lot of people just use that rib rack, man, and they'll never do a 3-2-1 on a rib. Like, they'll just leave it on the rib rack.
Yeah, the whole time.
Yeah, but
Nothing wrong with the rib rack.
yeah, there's nothing wrong with the rib rack.
It's a great space saver.
It's how you maximize the space on that thing.
It is, because you don't get a lot of real estate on an egg.
But like, if you're cooking with like actual wood, like, and like whether it's a reverse flow, offset, or even like a barrel cooker, like where you're hanging your ribs.
Yeah.
Like it's easier to not do the 3-2-1. I figure like 3-2-1 I think is more beneficial like on an egg or on a pellet cooker.
And you've got to know what you're doing when you're doing a hanging on a barrel. Because if you just lost your ribs.
you open up and they're just
you just lost your ribs, and I don't think people get that. So one thing a good tip is you can go get a piece of expanded sheet metal and cut it slightly bigger than the circumference of your barrel and wedge that down so it's above your fire. In case your ribs drop, you at least have a quick little safety net you'll hear, and you can run in and grab them instead of them being covered in ash and burning up. But yeah, little
that's
tip.
just natural flavoring. Probably has more flavor than the turtle rub.
Oh gosh, poor turtle. Let's see. What else do we have here? Oh, let me jump over to some news, because there was some more news that I wanted to speak on, if I could. If you're good with that, my friend.
Of course. Why wouldn't I be?
Well, you never know. So maybe you're not in the mood for news. Maybe you just woke up and chose violence today. I don't know.
I wake up and choose violence every day.
There it is.
That's the mantra, man. Like, if you don't wake up and choose violence, then what are you doing?
What are you doing with your life?
Yeah.
We've got two announcements here. One time for Big Mo Kason, his new show, World of Flavor with Big Mo, as aired. It is on Disney Plus. It aired October 5th. This is season 1. I don't know. We may have a cameo in there somewhere, Corey, because he was filming when we were at Holy Smokes Fest last year.
Oh, last year. Okay.
Yeah. He was filming way back last year, and it just dropped. And then I can't get into more particulars, but he's got a lot of fun, cool stuff happening. So if you've got Disney Plus, you're a barbecue fan, you're a big Mo fan, you may recognize him from Barbecue Pitmasters and a lot of other different cooking shows like that. Go check it out. Like I said, it's on Disney Plus. So I haven't caught it, but I'm gonna take a look, take a gander. If you see a giant walking Jamaican oak tree with locks, that is likely Corey. Next up, to my main man, 100 Grand. Shout out to Pops. He is doing a joint book signing with Aaron Franklin at the actual Franklin barbecue location. That is taking place. When is that taking place? November 6th. It's titled An Evening with Kevin Bloodsoe and Aaron Franklin. You can get your books signed. You can pick up Pops' book. You can head over to Bloodsoe's barbecue.com and pick that up. And you can snag a book from Aaron and get them both signed there. They're doing a whole meet and greet at Aaron's location. So make sure to go out.
Are they going to do separate lines for the meet and greet and the barbecue?
That would be hilarious. I would hope so.
Right.
I would hope so. I got to call him and find out all the particulars. But this was news to me that I just came across one time for Dr. Howard Conyers, who is featured, and it seems like a documentary of sorts that I want to check out. I'm going to put the link in the show notes, but the doc is doing great things. He was also invited over to Dillard University to speak on the rising depths of slavery, legacies of culture and expression in food, and that's happening October 28th and 29th. So make sure to check that out. The doc is doing a lot of work. I oftentimes tell people, be careful and be mindful, because people are fighting battles for you in rooms that you don't even know exist. And I can attest to that a lot. There's a renaissance happening, and there's change occurring that affects so many. You just may not even be aware that the results of people's efforts like this affect you. Perfect case is the Preserve the Pit program. brainchild of Dr. Howard Conyers, and it's been able to affect so many and inspire so many. So there's a lot of change, a lot of stuff happening. Support your local pitmaster. Tell a friend to tell 2 friends. Buy a pound and a half.
By 2 pounds.
Yes, sir. Back to the questions, yeah?
Sounds good.
Okay, so there was a lot question-wise in regard to just brisket. Brisket was a hot topic this week. It makes me wonder, did it end up going on sale?
No, it went up in cost. It went up in cost.
It did?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's rocking like $4.29 a pound for primes right now.
Shameless plug, guys. Here's the new hats. Go check out Phil's Barbecue Cup.
You could literally hold up the actual hat.
I could, but I like to.
But instead of like turning your phone.
Why won't you let me be great? Why? Why must you?
I know. I'm trying to get you to be greater.
You must always just smolder my flame. Someone said, "Do you know anyone that is going to help South Florida with hurricane relief? We'd love support." Spirit Junkie. We did just speak on Stan Hayes, founder of Operation Barbecue Relief. He is set up and stationed there. I can vouch for it right now. I was just talking to him. He's there. They're offering these bulk meals. If you head over to thisweekinbarbecue.com, our Instagram page, and hit the stories, I just shared a story with him. He's sharing information of how you can get, now they've added individual meals, but they're doing bulk meals there. If you visit the story, check it out. He's there. They'll have all the information, how you can get grub, but they're handing out food. I want to do my best to be there and support as best as I can. So just a little bit trying, but they've got some great stuff happening over there. If you're in need of something in particular, or if that region is just not getting any extra attention that you think they need, please send a DM over to This Week in Barbecue. My guys will get on it. We'll figure out something. We'll send up a flare to get that area as much help as we can possibly get. We'll, reach out to our network and see what happens. Thank you for that. We know a lot of people are still very, very much in need. So, let's see here. The questions. Boom. There we go. This was a good one. What is the best cut of meat to make jerky? I was going to go chuck.
No, I think too much. You want like almost no fat on jerky.
Well, chuck isn't that fatty.
I was going to say sirloin, right? If you cut
it top sirloin, yeah.
Yeah, if you cut it super thin.
You do top sirloin.
Yeah.
Well, not too thin, then it turns into a chip. I'd probably do like a quarter.
Yeah.
And then let it dry out.
Yeah, I just don't like, sometimes if you don't do, like, especially homemade jerky, you're not going to get the fat right. So you don't want it to go rancid. So you want as least fat on there so you don't mess it up.
Well, you're going to mess it up. Hopefully you don't mess it all up too bad where you can still salvage it. But that one came from Olis Greaves, who's always asking and submitting questions. So that is much appreciated. This is a fun one, and I wanted to save it for both of us, because we're both nerds. Who wins in a fight, Superman or Goku?
Oh, God, this.
I say Goku mops the floor with Super. That voice you hear is Leo, producer, but I say Goku mops the floor with
How
Superman.
It doesn't even matter.
It doesn't matter.
How long is the training session montage that season?
No training session. It's on site.
It's on site.
On site. They laying hands. Goku's catching Clark coming out of the grocery store or whatever. Did someone say Superman? No. I'm gonna need you out of this chat. Goku is mopping the floor with Superman.
Since
all hands on deck.
Goku might be fighting on like a far distant planet where Superman's not getting the sun power. This is also a possibility.
The thing is, Superman isn't a fighter. He's just strong. Superman has never trained in his life. He's taking these wild haymakers. He's blowing at you. No, that's not happening. Well, thank you for asking, but I'm in a heated debate because my cohort here thinks Superman would lay hands on. No,
I didn't say that at all. I just asked.
You didn't say Goku was taking the W, so in turn, that alludes to the fact that you're saying he'd lose. Goku's a fighter. Superman's just strong.
It's going to take him 18 episodes to get ready for the fight, though. Like,
we're doing
and
one episode.
And then how many episodes is
Well, they are 5-minute episodes.
Yeah, exactly. We're doing it's one episode. All the marbles.
5 minutes? Like they're 25 minutes of like him just sitting in like a.
It's a bunch of commercials.
It's 3 episodes of power ups, but at the end of the day,
the spirit bomb's taking 7 this time.
Yeah, Goku's fighting. You know, he's laying hands. He's taking now.
All right, we just
hands.
need that DC versus Goku fighting game.
I'm sure.
I mean, DC versus Dragon Ball. DC Goku's so strong. It's just DC versus Goku.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It's Goku. So now I got to get off this topic because I'm getting hot and heated.
I think the cable to your camera is getting hot and heated.
Probably because there's some foolishness going on. Someone asked, "How can I use my salted caramel whiskey in meats, or is that a thing I should just drink?" Yes, just drink it.
Just drink it.
Just drink it. The way to use it in your meats is as your meat is cooking, pour it into your glass and drink it.
Yeah, that's the perfect answer. Is like, drink it while you're cooking the
While
meats.
you're cooking, like even reducing that down to form or adding it to something to make a demi-glace or something. No, the caramel in there wouldn't be for meats. You could definitely swing it and reduce it down to
like a badass Foster's.
Yeah, exactly. You know, add for dessert, but I wouldn't lay that on. Wouldn't put that on meats. That's just. I would not put that on everything. Oh, I gotta say, Coppage said, "Hey,
Oh, nice.
Lost Boys for Life." Crap, it's his birthday. Yeah. Hey, buddy, miss you, bud. Love you. I'll reach out soon. I know times are weird, but that's what it is. Someone said, let's see, what are the next ones? This is another thing that sparked from like a name we won't say on air, but do you think adding tallow when wrapping a brisket actually does anything?
So it depends on, like, here's the thing where I do have a theory.
Okay, let's hit it.
So if you're holding your brisket for like longer than 10 hours, I do think tallow is beneficial.
Okay.
I like it keeps it moist. Like the theory that it will reabsorb some, I don't have to do more experiments with that. But see, there you go. Like, don't show it on the camera on your phone holding up. Like, show the actual product.
So let me be great, man. Jeez.
No, not let you be great. Let you be greater.
Let me be greater.
Yeah.
If you're holding, you want the tallow.
If you're holding, you want the tallow. I mean,
cook.
the other thing is, like, it's honestly, there are 2 really good benefits to tallow, especially when slicing. It looks like when you pour it out over the brisket, and it starts to glisten. It makes for a great
shot.
Makes for a great presentation piece. The other benefit that no one really talks about, and if you watch someone that has just loaded up like tallow-fied their brisket, we're going to call it that. They tallow-fied their brisket and they slice their brisket. Watch what they do, especially on a lean slice. Mm-hmm. They'll do what I call it the swipe. They got that tallow-filled glove. They'll kind of swipe a layer of tallow over the slice of brisket. And what that's going to do is it's going to keep it from oxidizing faster on the plate, so that when someone goes and takes the plate and sets it down, those slices are going to look better for pictures instead of oxidizing almost instantaneously.
Nice and shiny, nice and sheen. Everyone's yelling at you and telling you to let me be great.
I want you to be greater.
No, I believe so. I believe the tallow does help a bit, but here's the thing: the tallow is not a miracle cure.
No,
I don't care. You can have A5 Wagyu tallow. It's not going to fix a bad brisket.
Right.
There's nothing you can do about that.
The people that are cooking good briskets are going to be cooking good briskets without tallow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, if you're experimenting and you're trying to, hit it with more than the Texas two-step, then I appreciate that. I like tallows that are infused. Like my tallows have, and I've done lives where I've shown how to make it, where I've got garlic, rosemary, basil, sage. I've got tallow for everything, different aromas, different things added on. And that's when it's going to impart more flavor. But once again, it's not going to fix anything if I screwed up the cook. But it will help, but don't rely on it to like, oh, well, this is really dry. This is going to absorb all of this and be back to normal. No.
No. If you don't cook the brisket right, or you overcook it, or you undercook it, tallow's not going to save it.
Ooh,
tallow is
undercooked brisket. That's a heck of a trick to do.
Yeah, well, I mean, people used to say pull a brisket at 190.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is a funny one. This one came from Jay Free. How many slabs of brisket can you bench? I'm assuming that one's directed towards me. I guess it depends on, are you talking like pre-trim or post-trim briskets? Because that's
let's just do it in cases.
I haven't maxed out in a while, but I can move 4. I can move 4 and change.
Yeah, that sounds. I think you're undershooting yourself on that.
No, 400.
Okay.
Pounds,
yeah.
Well,
I thought you were saying 4 cases.
No.
Yeah, 4 cases. So that's actually closer to like what, 7 cases?
Yeah, 7 or almost a pallet.
Seven or 8 cases.
I move about 400 pounds.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. I stay in shape so I can lift briskets.
So, like for people that don't, that's 35 to 40 briskets.
Yeah, top end 40.
Yeah.
No trim.
Yeah, no trim.
We're talking pre-trim.
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 Still bagged.
Briskets. Yeah, bagged, pre-trimmed. Hi, Ari. How you doing? In search of yumminess. How you doing this afternoon?
Yeah, I would like to. Now I just have the mental image of a bench bar, but with like hooks of brisket hanging off the side.
That would be. You see all these crazy. We go back and we share all the time. We see these crazy workout routines. Guys balancing like a whole bench rack and stuff and doing this. I'm like, nah. Let's get to the gym. Slap some. They are going to throw something all type of ways. But where is it? This is pretty cool. And a hard question. And shout out to Jay Fitch for always supporting the podcast, man. If you had to live without one of the following, which would it be? Beef, chicken, lamb, or pork? I feel like for you, I kind of know which one for you. But it took me a while to think of this one through.
Like chicken, probably. Like chicken
Really?
seems like.
You could go the rest of your life without chicken?
No,
I can't. I need my lemon pepper wet.
I'm a CFA fiend.
Yeah, okay. They've gotten tight with their birds, man. Me and CFA are not on the good talking terms.
No, probably like just because I don't eat it as much, probably lamb.
I figured it'd be lamb for you, but I had to say pork. And I'm a miss bacon, but I'm not giving up lamb for bacon. And my wings aren't going anywhere. I'm gonna need me a 12-piece anytime. And my steaks, that's silly.
I'm kind of known for a thing where like pork is a pretty crucial ingredient.
Yeah,
and
kind of big.
And lamb casings are a pain in the ass to deal with. So like I can't give up pork.
No, I said I can give up pork because I stopped making pork because you make better sausage.
Yeah, and you don't use like I'm not going to be making sausage in beef bung. So I can tell you that.
No, that's a solid no go.
Yeah.
But I knew which one that was for you. Let's see. Oh well, do you have any more news you want to hit real quick?
No, I only had the 3.
Okay.
Well, technically like 4.
Okay.
Yeah, but did you have another one?
I think I've got another, but I want to pose this question to you while I hunt for the next one. Can you give us, someone wanted to know, can you give us a hint of what is in what's in the cookbook? The recipes you guys have been asking for. Jerk chicken is in there. Curried dishes are in there. Traditional dishes. It's a journey through basically my life. Some of the most pivotal moments always centered around some sort of a dish, some sort of food. And I am recreating those dishes and sharing those moments with you all, the ingredients, everything that's in there. So by the end of it, you should know how to get down and make jerk chicken the true way. Like, I'll do it at pop-ups, but like if you come to the spot, I'm like, yo, I'm making jerk, just know there was 2 days worth of prep before that. I'm doing it with all my tips and tricks as best as I know how to make jerk chicken.
With the real wood.
And it's hard to get pimento here, so I'm using the tricks that I use to get the flavor here. So it's an in-depth. I know that's going to be the hook, but that's what's being made. And I can promise you one thing. And my guys, we've talked about this before. I guarantee you my cookbook is unlike any other cookbook that's out there. And that is just because of what it will offer. And I know this for a fact because we did a lot of research beforehand. And this book, it's no book like it. And I'm willing to bet once it's out there, the elements that are part of this book you'll start seeing pop up in books that come after it. That much I'll say. But putting in work, man. One time for Michael Simon, he just wrapped shooting his Sunday Suppers cookbook this past week. I believe his is dropping next spring or next fall. So shout out to Michael Simon. He's cool cat, cool on the other side of the pillow. But let's hit you with these questions, yeah? What is your favorite side dish? I need to step my game up. Because I want you to go there because you serve at your pop up some really fun and funky sides with your dishes. So
I mean, like, are we talking about just favorite side dish, like in general? Like, because
okay,
like
we can do a size in general.
Like, if I'm at home, man, like, I really like good roasted Brussels sprouts. Like,
okay,
yeah, like, like really well done, good roasted Brussels sprouts. It's like top tier.
I like that.
Yeah. If at a pop up, I mean, the biggest mover is mac and cheese.
You
but
do
like,
make a great mac.
yeah,
though.
but like at the same time, I was like, I can't eat a ton. Like I don't like honestly. If I'm just talking like my favorite side dish at another barbecue joint, like if I'm going just like, I dream about B's hash and rice.
Oh man, Bees,
like that's like
Bees makes like you know what's upsetting? Like B does not cook enough for as hungry as I am for his food.
Right. Yeah.
That's what's upsetting.
Honestly,
man.
that's why I stopped going to like the Kroger spot is because like he wouldn't have hash and rice, he wouldn't have the peach barbecue sauce, and he wouldn't have the crackling corn cakes. So
Bees, and that segues into the next bit of news. A follow up.
You didn't answer.
Well, I'm gonna come back to that,
okay,
but you spoke on B, so I'm gonna speak on it. And I'm gonna come back to it. B, Pitmaster Brian Furman of Brian Furman Barbecue or Brian Furman BBQ is going back to Harvard again. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Pitmasters are teaching courses. He's back at Harvard to teach the thermodynamics of barbecue. B is one of those cats that I can talk the science aspect of what we do for hours because there's so much science in it. And the lecture is part of their Science and Cooking series that is going to be taking place on October 17th on Monday. I believe they're going to stream it. He at least had it on his feed last year. So make sure to catch that. It's at 7 p.m. on Monday. Will I be here? No, I'll be in Connecticut, but I'll catch it. I'm going to watch it. Make sure to tune in. If you're trying to learn, you're trying to get the depths of it, this is really what separates. This is how you become a pitmaster, understanding ins and outs, the sides, tops, and bottoms of what you're doing. Shout out to B for doing this, and shout out to Harvard for having him back. He made such a wonderful impression, and it was in demand that were like, please come back. So he's going to be doing that, and more info will be located in the show notes, so check that out. But answer your question, or the question that was posed to us, my side, you know, there's always going to be the max and what have yous, but I get down with cornbread, man.
like
I
really
love
really good cornbread.
really good cornbread. That's just a staple. My grandma made it, my aunt made it, my mom made it. Now I get down and I make it, but I love cornbread. I'm not talking Jiffy boxes either. Talking ground cornmeal. I used to watch my grandma pulverize that stuff and make it for us.
And
so,
it's not sweet.
yeah, it's just so good. So my side is I love cornbread. I put out a video a little bit ago on the Instagrammies where I showed that I'd roasted some corn, minced that up, and then turned that into like a little bit of a cornmeal paste to add to my cornbread, and that was really good. It was real. Was that you? We were in the house with that dude. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was good.
What are your favorite your barbecue sides when you go someplace?
Barbecue sides. I like checking out people's collards.
Yeah.
You know, because I can tell them like if the collards hit, and I'm like, yeah, the rest of the food will go because you can't. You can taste the shortcut in a collard real quick, and you can tell if it's the frozen patch just heated up. So I like collards. B's ruined griddle cakes for me, man. I can't really enjoy griddle cakes anywhere else. He makes really good griddle cakes. I'll do the cornbread, but collards, cornbread, mashed potatoes, always good. I like good mashed potatoes. But yeah.
I like getting the sides that aren't at other places.
Like what?
So like Interstellar in Austin, they do a smoked scallop potatoes.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's really good. Or or if a place has really good grits.
Oh, I love grits. I do a mean smoked brisket and grits.
Nice.
It's good. And the trick is you take the tallow to help form that with the butter and then whip those brisket. Oh, yeah. It's good stuff. Just I'm getting hungry thinking about it, to be perfectly honest with you.
You get that other half of the pub sub.
That's exactly what I'm going to go to. But I think we've aired it out. There's a few more, but let's do one more. And we'll do one more question. Let's
So who's the lucky question?
I don't know. We're gonna roll the dice right now and see. And as I do, we'll shamelessly plug the fact that you can now purchase Phillips Barbecue Co. hats in 3D mesh print on our website. They just dropped today. Get them before they're gone and before Christmas, because we just got an email on shipping rates skyrocketing.
And I hate to do the South Park meme, and they're gone.
And they're gone. Yeah.
And they're gone.
And they're gone. That's pretty much how it is. And let's see, our last question. I wanted to be a really good one, a thought-provoking one. No, I've never thought about smoking alligator. Wouldn't know where to get a whole alligator. Preferred charcoal. I burn down my own. What you should put in your
problem with the
brine?
alligator thing is you got to go to Florida.
Yeah, which I'm sure they've got an abundance of them out in the streets right now, so it wouldn't be too hard.
They probably got some taking over houses down there.
It's that movie Crawl, just all over.
So I wish this person would have resubmitted, but they didn't. And I'll ask you the question. And if you don't get it, maybe we'll go to another one. But Seattle Soul asked, go-to smoker seasoning, mass-produced. So I didn't know if he meant like a cooking seasoning or like seasoning the smoker.
So I'm guessing he's...
Because I don't know of a mass-produced seasoning for the smoker.
Well, I guess linseed oil is technically mass-produced.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, canola oil and those are all mass produced. And I guess if you really wanted to spend some money, that Chicago Packers Wagyu tallow is now mass produced.
Let me see if he had sent something in, because I asked for follow-up.
I think it's just like barbecue seasoning. That's what I'm going to go with.
Think it's barbecue seasoning?
Yeah.
Think we're going to send him a bottle of Turtles?
Yeah, no. Don't
do that? Okay.
So I haven't gotten to try like Zavalas or Goldies yet, and they're kind of distributing more.
Okay, here we go. He did resubmit. He said meat seasoning.
Meat seasoning.
Okay, so all right, so we've got you. I wasn't sure. I was like, does he mean?
I mean, back in the day before I started making my own rub, I guess it wasn't as mass produced as more local. Yeah. I did like using Fox Brothers rub. Really? Like especially if I was going to a buddy's house and I wasn't going to have time to make my own rub, or I wasn't going to count on them having the stuff to make a rub. Mm-hmm. Fox Brothers rub was I liked. But I hadn't. That was before I knew about Meat Church and stuff like that.
I've never used a Meat Church rub. Yeah. Never owned one. Never popped a bottle.
A lot of people swear by Holy Cow and Voodoo.
That's what I've heard. I've checked out Cosmo's Q stuff. Yeah, Cosmo's a cool cat. Shout out Cosmo. Hope everything's well, brother. Obviously, my go-to are mine. I've been working on mine for a very long time.
I really like Slab Father.
Thank you, brother. I put a lot in there. I've been working on it for a better part of 70. I still have the original napkin that I drew the artwork on for Slab Father. Okay. So, little known fact.
It's the napkin.
Just a scan of the napkin. Yeah. Little known fact, guys, the artwork you see on our rubs was actually drawn by yours truly. I've been working on this a long time, but my go-to rubs are always my rubs. Like the cats come over, they'll see that's what I'm using, even as just a base, and I may build on it. I'm still incorporating them somehow. If one of the ones that I do love because of the name and the flavor is the traditional butt rub with the little pink pig and the apron and the chef's hat. I always got down with that. I was like, this is actually a funny rub, but it actually tastes really good. And so that would be my choice because our rub is also mass-produced, and you can get it at phillipsbarbecueco.com, just letting you know.
And don't do the thing of using 2 or 3 rubs on a piece of protein.
Yeah,
don't hit it with
we're going to use the voodoo, then we're going to hit the holy guy, then we're going to hit the this, and then we're going to
use the coffee rub.
I'm like, what?
Just use one, stick with it.
Call it a night. Do another cook with the other one.
maybe add some more pepper, like
Yeah.
or salt. Like, don't add
some
another
turtle
rub.
rub to it. I'm going to make a rub. My next all-purpose rub will just be turtle rub.
I mean, that's got to be like a section in your cookbook is turtle rub.
Oh gosh, I don't know. That'll definitely get me banned from a lot of places. Don't go against the family, man. You know that.
Don't go against the family.
Well, that's been good, but do you have anything up on the docket that people should know about? Yeah. Yeah, you do, because you're doing an event on my birthday or the week of my birthday.
Yeah. So October 22nd. You're doing an event the week of your birthday.
Yeah, but that's not really important.
No, let's talk about so you're in Connecticut.
I am in Connecticut.
For the Roost Festival.
The Roost Fest. Myself, Brad Leone, and a lot of other amazing chefs. We're going to have some, we've got some cat slinging pizzas and pies. We're going to be doing a lot of open fire stuff. There's this giant set of rocks, they call it the Fire Beast, that's been constructed that I'm just going to get to play around with, legitimately just play around with different fire sections, different levels, different gradings, making some smoked jerk clams with some rustic root vegetables. We're going to have some Wagyu in there, but it's weird, right? So why would you as a company, and here's another good idea, bad idea, be a company, reach out to someone to be a part of their event, tell them you'll provide everything, and say you'll send sample stuff for the person to test and try to cook with. Then 24 hours later say, no, never mind, we'll just give you a 15% discount. Like, wait, why? Why did you waste my bandwidth, my internet, email space, and have me take time to format a menu?
I'm going to ask about this later. I'm going to ask about this later.
Not salty about it at all, but you just burnt time that I don't have to waste. So don't do that. So the menu's going to be some jerk clams with rustic root veggies, all open fire. I'm having a ball. I'm bringing my heat-resistant gloves, my aprons, and my work boots, and we're just going to go through it. We may go gathering for clams and oysters as well. Do I owe you jerk rub, or you've got jerk rub to do some links, yeah?
No, I think I need a new batch because we need to.
Ooh, well, I gave you peppers.
You gave me. Yeah.
I've got reapers.
You showed me a bag of peppers that I didn't commit to taking yet.
No, those are yours, man.
No, we need to do another I have a little bit of the marinade, but we need more of the rub.
The dry?
Because I think that's what made that second link sing that the third link didn't sing as much.
Copy.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll do that. I'll get you some more of the rub. Yeah. We'll get that. We'll toss it in Corey's bag, and we'll be able to go take it up there. It'll be a chef's delight because it's not going to be enough because we're doing 600 people.
we need to stash it in a bag, put it in a jar of peanut butter.
No, we don't have to do all that. Usually, 9 times out of 10, someone at TSA recognized me. They're like, "Oh, well, he got stopped when we were coming out of Texas because he had these rubs from Al Frugoni," and I was like, "It looks like weed."
It wasn't even a weed thing. It was just they're just going to take the links.
And they stopped him because he looks like a suspicious character. I'd stop him too. They just let me go by. He's like, "Oh, at the barbecue, of course he'd have bottles of stuff," and just made him go on by. But so yeah, that's where I'll be. I believe tickets are still available. The Roost Fest, it's going to be a ball.
I think VIP tickets are out.
Yeah,
General admission's still available.
Sold. I think we're almost at capacity for general admin, so get it while the getting's still good. It'll be good. I'm looking forward to it, man. It'll be a good time. But you've got one. You'll be round trip. No,
round trip.
Round trip.
It might be the last full barbecue pop up that I do for the year. I'm just not I don't have anything lined up.
Yeah.
And as it gets colder, it's harder to do stuff outside. And the pop up world, you kind of pick venues you could set up inside, but if there's nothing available, this might be the last full barbecue. I'll do some smaller stuff with more limited menu, but if you want the full spread,
we may have to. I'll figure it out. Let's see. Before you hang it up, I want to hang it up with you. So I'll shake something. I want to do one last
hurrah,
big old cook.
Yeah,
for that pop up wise. But I've got some fun stuff that I got planned for my buddies, the Angels, when they come to town in November. So, I'm still going to roll smoke, but I want to do one more pop-up if I can.
Right.
I'm trying to squeeze it in there.
It's just hard. I've got a couple weeknight stuff that I'm doing around Atlanta.
Okay.
So, keep an eye out. And I got a special thing I'm working on, a special limited menu, limited run menu, on the 23rd of October. So.
Heck yeah. Let's do it. Well, brother, it has been A blast as always, and thank you all so much for tuning in and listening. If you haven't already, please like, follow, and share. Tell a friend to tell two friends. And I'm Rashid Phillips, and joining me as always,
Brian Hull.
And this has been This Week in Barbecue. Thanks, guys, for watching, and remember, be good to one another.
Salute.
Take care. Salute, my friend.